this. Let's see what we get. Alright, so first things first, let's get that out of the way. And so let's look first at what we have. We have on Moonglavie, this is an interesting map, a lot of entrances even to your natural. We can see that there is a wide natural and a small entrance here, so it's an interesting map. But let's introduce the players. We have dsaqwe playing as the brown Protoss at the bottom left location, and his opponent is going to be Djem5 playing as the yellow Protoss at the bottom left location. Sorry, I'm not sure. This is the right location, right? Okay, so dsaqwe is going to be brown at bottom right location, and Djem is going to be yellow Protoss at bottom left location. Now, so far as 1-1, the first game was actually kind of strange, but dsaqwe managed to take eventually the game. However, the second game looked a little bit more one-sided when Djem was managing the better economy basically and expanding a lot better. So dsaqwe might be a little bit tilted after that, especially considering that he wasn't playing really like badly or anything. He was reacting very well. His engagements were pretty good, but he got really beaten in the macro game, so he might not really want to go really into that later stage of the game. Now, Moonglavie, however, is a different type of map. The expansions are they're kind of a little bit difficult to know how to attack efficiently, since there is kind of some small chokes, there's a lot of ramps, so both players are going to have to think about how they want to play on a map that is not your typical standard layout map. Now, so far both players are going the same thing, so we have 1 gate gas, 1 gate gas, and both players are going to scout exactly. Actually, well, no, Djem5 is going to see his opponents a little bit sooner, and we see again a Zealot first coming down from dsaqwe, while we have a core first for Djem. So, just as in the previous game, we see that Djem5 favors going for the earlier tech and then going for the Dragoon instead of the first Zealot. Now, dsaqwe is kind of maybe playing it a little bit safer, but at the same time that means that his Dragoon is going to come a little bit later. Now the core is coming up for the second Zealot. We'll see if he makes another one. And at the same time, after the core, no Zealot yet after the core for Djem5, right? No Zealot. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, with 2 Zealots, you can actually decide to even push if there's just 1 Dragoon. I mean, you could do something. You could actually put some pylons, like a pylon here, a pylon here, a pylon here, and then block a Dragoon here, and then with your 2 Zealots come in and start killing probes. So there's actually a funny way to do this, but okay, we see a second gateway, so even more, this, I think it might have worked. I mean, the probe will probably see it, and there's actually a way to get around that if you're the Protoss yourself, which is you put a pylon down here, so it makes it kind of impossible to do that well, but it's something that you can do if you have some Zealots and your opponent is going straight for Dragoons. Now, we see the first Dragoon out already, so no more scouting information for dsaqwe, while at the same time, Djem's probe is still around and sees the robotics. So, interestingly enough, seeing the robotics tells you that it will probably be either reavers or obs, right? So it does give you some warning about what probably will happen. There's a possibility that you can actually cancel the robo and go for DTs, but if you do that, it's usually comes a lot later. Now, as we can see, this probe is actually extremely annoying, still being alive, still seeing everything, and that is really annoying. Oh my god, this probe, man. It's gonna see everything. Like, the robo will finish probably before the probe gets killed. Yes, it actually exactly at the time when the probe dies, the robo finishes. So, okay, it could have been cancelled, but yeah, it would have been quite... Yeah, exactly. So, dsaqwe is kind of asking if he saw him cancel or not. It's kind of a cheeky way to play about this, but I mean, the robo was almost finished when the last time the probe came through, so cancelling at that point and trying to go for something else would take so long that it's probably not a good idea to do that. Now, We see that Djem5, is he thinking about taking an expansion just out of that? That's interesting. It might be. And it might be actually pretty dangerous to do that because, yes, Djem5 is taking an... Wow, that's a very early expansion, especially if you consider that with Reavers and some units, especially from a 2-gate Goon build, the dsaqwe might actually have a decent timing here. I mean, the high ground is always a problem, but as you can see, there's one high ground here, and then there's another one here, right? So, as soon as the observer sees these units, he can just go around it. But, mainly what I'm thinking about is, there's enough Dragoons here that I can try to snipe the shuttle and the Reaver, and we can see some spotting pylon and also a probe already trying to see what's going on. But, it seems like the dsaqwe might just go for a drop because he is keeping his zealots back here and only going out with his dragoons. He has to be very careful because he has only 4 dragoons. If he goes out there with the dragoons and they all get killed, and at the same time he flies out with the Reaver, then it might be actually quite difficult for him. Now, we see another 2 gateways, so it seems like it's going to be a heavy commitment to a 1-base Dragoon Reaver attack. Now, will he wait for 2 Reavers? Because the best way, in theory, for this is to try to drop 1 Reaver, get some kills on the probes. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad. Now, the Reaver will hold this, but that kind of gives away that it is a Reaver with a shuttle. So, this is a very tricky position now, because now the dsaqwe, if he wants to get an expansion based on the Reavers, then he has to be very careful not to lose them. On the other side, if he tries to drop and it fails for any reason, these Dragoons can go and kill everything. Oh. Oh. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, we see that right now Djem5 is pulling back. Makes a lot of sense because after taking some shots, he can be in trouble if this army clashes, but I still think that in this position... Oh, the shuttle does go down. And look at that! That even misses! Ah, Djem5 is getting quite lucky with these things. Okay, so this engagement should be more difficult. Now these Dragoons should kind of try to run away a little bit and then allow the Reaver to reach them. Otherwise he's actually fighting Goons versus Goons, which is not the best position for him. It seems like the Zealots are actually tanking a lot of damage, and only 3 Dragoons and another 4 here against 6 Dragoons and this thing, which seems to be not really having a lot of, like, it's taking its time. You know, the Reavers are not units that like to really rush things, so... But this is actually pretty tricky because there are already 4 gateways and a 5th one. No, 4 gateways, but until the gateways are actually, you know, getting units and this observer seeing everything, if the Dragoons get in a good position and the Reaver is shooting from behind, this is possibly breakable. Oh, yeah, this is definitely breakable. Okay, 1 shot, not too good. That shot is very good. Oh. And another good shot. And these Dragoons are now winning the battle heavily due to the shots of the Reaver. Oh my god, that was a really good exchange. Now, there is no way to keep this Nexus, right? This Nexus has to get yes, the Nexus is sacrificed instantly. And that's a good move. You don't want to just kill the Nexus. You want to keep some kind of a pressure up here. So at the same time that the Nexus is falling, you are trading hits with the Dragoons. You don't want to allow the Dragoons to actually take this high ground and efficiently defend it. Now, some probes also will get killed, which is okay, but the Dragoons here have to be microed. You don't want to be just standing there. So more Dragoons coming up, more Dragoons, but it's just basically Dragoons, and now a Reaver is out, so if this doesn't kill the Nexus really fast, then it's going to be actually difficult. Now, the Reaver can still be sniped. You have an observer there, you see that the Reaver is easy to take down. Okay, so the Nexus does go down, and the dsaqwe decides not to... Okay, no. I thought he wanted to go and not pressure, but the Reaver is a good target at this position, so there's a good reason to actually commit to it. Now, it seems like the Dragoons will basically end up trading one-on-one, and there's more Dragoons coming in. There's a Reaver in the shuttle, so again... Oh! the Reaver... What the... Okay. Whew. Now we have a 4 gateway Reaver build from one base against a 3 gateway Reaver build from one base. This Reaver might want to just completely go crazy and try to kill probes. I mean, a containment is good, but remember that also at this point Djem does have Reaver tech. Although he doesn't have too much... Yeah, he doesn't have any gas to actually do... shooting on the gateway, probably not the best idea. He might want to fly like from up and just shoot at the probes at this point. I mean, with a containment like this, getting up or down is the difficult thing to do. I don't think this is a good idea about the dsaqwe. I don't think it's a good idea to go up here. It's very risky. He's actually going to risk a lot. And... oh. Okay. So, yeah, it's basically going to be kind of an even trade, but the problem with this is that the dsaqwe really wanted to get the kill, and because of the fact that he lost the Reaver like that, if he killed some probes, I think it would have been a little bit more efficient, but... Okay, so we have 3 Dragoons, these are almost dead, 4 Dragoons, so the dsaqwe is still defending this position, he's still containing pretty well. The Ops does die by the dsaqwe, which means that now he doesn't have any vision. Now it would be really risky to try to attack up that hill. However, he should have a better concave down here if he wants to actually contain this. And it seems like at the same time he's going to take an expansion for himself. So, with the fact that the Djem5 is actually getting out of it, running out of money, and at the same time he is contained, in a very short time, if he doesn't break through, he will not break through. Now, making some Zealots is a good idea because Zealots will tank a good amount of damage. Now, the Reaver, another Reaver is out, and I think that's actually good enough to kill completely this army. Yes, you see, Djem5 is also hesitating whenever he wants to fight and attack the... Oh! Ouch! Unfortunately, the Reaver does die. That was quite close, but barely there, actually. By killing that Reaver, Djem5 will get out and will get his Nexus. Now, bear in mind, there's still another Reaver, so there's still a possibility to kind of like trade well for the dsaqwe and break this Nexus, but it's not that easy. It's not that clear cut. Now that first Dragoon leading was the weak one, and the Reaver does drop. Oh, now that's a better pickup. Oh, that's a good pickup. Oh, that was really sick, Reaver Micro. And I think that was probably what will take the game for the dsaqwe. That control, considering that there are only some Dragoons coming up, there's almost no money here, there's still some more Dragoons going to be rallied, and some Zealots even for good measure to make sure that the shots from the Dragoons actually don't deal that much damage. Now this is a good strong contain with a Reaver. Just make sure you have that Observer, that Reaver. No, don't go up there. Like, I don't understand why the dsaqwe is so eager to attack. I mean, this can definitely work, but it's more risky to go up here than to stay. Oh, good shot. And no. Okay, so it seems like it's going to be it. With the probes now. Oh, and a good shot on the probes as well. The economy is starting to get lost, to get hammered. Now that's better. That's a little bit more damage. Some Zealots, but there's only one Dragoon left. So pretty fast. A lot faster game than the last one, but a lot more action packed. Oh, and a Reaver will come up for Djem5. Unfortunately, he's taking a lot of damage. He's not even lifting it up. Like, you have to lift the Reaver. Okay, the Reaver does go up, but some more probes are going to be falling. And now it's Reaver on Reaver action with some Dragoons from the dsaqwe, so yeah, that's not gonna work well for Djem5. Now Djem5 is still fighting. He's not really given up yet. He still wants to try to defend this. Oh, that Reaver. Yeah, Djem5 realizes at this moment he can't mine. Whew. Wow. Now that was a pretty good, a pretty close game, all the time changing directions, who's going to win. I have to say, really nice. So, let's see what else we've got. Just a second, guys, and I think...